But so have you been looking for new Phillies merch lately?
I actually have. I feel like I'm running low on t-shirts.
All right. Well, since you are, you and the other Phillies fans should head over to phillygoat.com to get your Philly Goat merch and use the code BTVPod for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat, and as always, go Phils.
Ooh, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I'm your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
We'll take 2 out of 3. Or no, wait.
No, we did.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. All
Two out
right.
of three.
2 out of 3. Yeah.
This week would have been nice.
Those series back-to-back from the All-Star break, man, they did a number on me.
I know, yeah.
It's totough to keep track. Yeah,
it is. It gets to be a lot sometimes.
Even though that's what we're trying to do here. But
yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Sometimes go through the bumps, during the journey. So it's called. So no foul ball. Didn't get it. Didn't get get anything at the game the other night. So because I know we talked about it the other day, and it's just not.
Then you sent me a picture from your seat and said definitely getting a ball tonight.
Yeah, I thought so. There was a kid in front of me with his family who got like 2 of them. He got one from Max Kepler and the other from Jaron Duran, who literally came over and tossed it to him. So I was like,
hilarious. And you're like, all right, dude.
Yeah. And the kid then after each foul ball that went down the third base line after that, he kept trying to go get another one. I'm like, dude, you already have 2. Like, relax.
Yeah,
right. Like, come on, this kid's like 7 years
over
old.
there getting mad, yo.
Dude, I was just like, yo, you need to relax.
This kid's a quarter of your age, and you're like, yo. Give me a foul ball, kid.
Hey, he needs to learn baseball etiquette as soon as possible. Okay,
that is true. Yeah,
sit down, bro. Sit down. Yeah. But yeah, really entertaining series to say the least. Especially the last game, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a little bit.
Entertaining is quite the word for it.
I mean,
the endings and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like there were a lot of moments. You know,
there was, and I guess we kind of expect that a little bit because we know the Red Sox.
I didn't expect a catcher's interference.
Well, yeah. So all right. So we'll talk about that.
Sorry, burying the lead
good.
here. Yeah,
you're good. So
it's been a long night already.
I know. So yeah, Monday night's game was good. I lost it here for a sec. I lost the picture.
Yeah,
hopefully.
It says make sure you have the right camera selected to close any other applications that might be used. You can click this camera. You can click the camera button and try again. Restart your browser or computer if this continues.
I'll cut this.
What the fuck, dude? I'd hope you cut it.
There we
go. Yeah.
Jesus.
You don't even have to. That would be hilarious if you didn't cut it.
But anyway.
All right, here we go.
Jesus,
yeah.
Man. Unbelievable.
So Phils get the 3-2 win on Monday night in extra inning. Well, they went to 10th inning, so yeah, extra innings.
Extra innings.
After the catcher interference from Carlos Narvaez on Mundo Sosa. Good eye on Sosa, by the way. I mean, me being there, I didn't really know what was going on until like Mike told me. It was like, oh, they're like reviewing something. I'm like, what are they reviewing? Like I didn't even like notice or whatever. So definitely crazy ending. But overall, Wheeler, not his best performance, but he did enough to kind of get through the game and keep them in the game for the most part. He gave up that leadoff homer to Duran, but kind of settled in a little bit afterwards, whatever. So, but thankfully enough, he got some help from the offense. But definitely,
finally,
yeah, exactly. So definitely one of those games, not his best, but he did what he could to keep us in it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to look up, who leads I know why, because I didn't leave the other studio. That's why it's screwing me up.
There you go.
We're all good. Everything's fine. Anyway, I was trying to do some research, see who leads the league in catcher's interferences, because I heard a lot right after that happened that they've been having a problem with that all year. Somebody said he has like 9 of them or something crazy like that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I got it. I mean, trust tree here, trust circle, whatever we want to call this.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look much like Sosa hit his glove. I think Sosa kind of sold it. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit, but
the
glove moved a little bit. So
yeah. I'm not saying it was like he completely missed it or something.
Yeah.
My point being, I think it was just a little. I think it was a little theatrical. He acted like he swung and could have broke his hand or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, that's the kind of thing you want to see from the team when they're trying to back up Wheeler, they never give him run support, God forbid. But they decided to that night, and I mean, that's the night to do it. So
yeah,
I think Wheeler not let off the gas, but he was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
Yeah,
exactly. I can actually work with this,
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe he was trying a couple different things out. I don't know, but that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, and the bullpen really stepped up as well. Banks got in, Kirkring got in, Strom.
Banks is your guy, man.
Dude, Banks, I'm telling you right now, I told you. I mean, you laughed at me. I get it. I understand what you did.
I laughed at you saying you got Lazar stock. That's what I laughed at.
And so speaking
Banks
of him,
is fine.
So speaking of Max Lazar, shout out to him. He got his first
big
win.
nuts, Max Lazar. My
dude, he's looking good, bro.
Yeah.
Looking good. So
talk about stones.
Yeah, no, that was a really like high energy moment right there. The crowd, everybody standing up, like one of those like great baseball moments of the game.
Yeah.
So it was definitely cool to see. I was like I said, third base side. I was like right on the fence there, so it was like I kind of had like a good angle, home plate kind of for the most part. It's not one of those bad views, in Citizens Bank Park, but
right.
But yeah, so definitely a good overall game. Again, not one of Wheeler's best, but he did enough to get the job done and keep the team keep them in the game. He had 10 strikeouts, so ERA is at 2.39 now. So listen, I'm not that type of stuff doesn't worry me too much. Especially from Wheeler. Talk about So moving on to Tuesday night's game, which Phils get the 4-1 win.
Yeah.
I mean, story of this game was Christopher Sanchez. I mean, complete game. It's just like, what more can you say about the guy who he's really shown that like he's a big piece of this franchise?
I got nothing. Like big piece of this franchise. Go ahead, say it. He's unbelievable. He's crazy good. He has this aura about him, and I don't know what it is, but it's just like I never worry with him.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's because he's shown us.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, he's unbelievable.
He
and
is,
that contract he's on?
Steal. We talk about it all the time. We say it all the time about it when we talk about Sanchez.
22 million? Man, come on now.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable contract. Unbelievable guy. Like, it's just really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, and just...
to come out, and throw that complete game in that spot is the way that our bullpen's been performing. Obviously, the night before they were okay, but the way that our bullpen's been performing on back-to-back games like that, just to step up and do what he did, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it makes things easier for Rob Thompson, especially dealing with the bullpen that he has to deal with. But yeah, I think overall, man, like just seeing the emotion from Sanchez, and that's the thing, he doesn't show it like here, like once in every game or whatever, blue moon, but like it's
boom, boom.
Yeah. It's like he's always like he gets out of a jam or any type of big moment in the game, and he's showing emotion walking off the mound. Yep. And I love that. I think it's great. Like I'm awesome. when it's meant to be, and you can act that way, then you can. You know what I'm saying? When he showed it, and I think that just the one thing that stands out to me all the time, seeing Sanchez and how he pitches now is like just the growth from him over the years. I mean, you think back to a series, that series against the Diamondbacks in the playoffs, where like he struggled greatly against them, like out of the bullpen, where he couldn't, he was walking too many guys, he wasn't hitting with any of with control or whatever. And I think just over the years, he's kind of developed, the velocity, the control of the changeup. Like that's like his go-to as of right now. And it looks great. And I just think like the growth of him right now is just, it's showing. And like, it's one of those things just to be excited about, as we keep going into the future now, with certain pieces.
Plus 1,500 to win the Cy Young.
I feel just saying. Yeah.
But I don't think he will. But
okay.
So again with this trust tree thing, I have a question.
Okay.
About Sanchez and Wheeler.
Okay.
Is there a world where Sanchez starts the first game of a playoff series?
No.
You don't think so?
I do not.
I'm not talking the first series. I'm talking a series. And what I mean by that is look at matchups, right?
Yeah.
Because Wheeler righty, correct? I'm not the
Yes.
best with this. Okay. Sanchez lefty.
Yes. Yeah.
I knew Sanchez was a lefty. I always get confused with Wheeler sometimes. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm stupid regardless.
You're fine.
If you have the matchup for Sanchez, in Sanchez's favor, I should say, which obviously Wheeler can mow down anybody. I'm not looking to get into that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a possibility, and it's something you clear with Zach Wheeler first and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. Because perfect example. Say Wheeler pitches, say we make the wild card, we don't win the division, all that crap.
Yeah.
You know, you have Wheeler go game one because Wheeler's Wheeler. You have him go game one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going against a team that barely squeaked in and they just don't have a prayer, and you throw Ranger Suarez on the mound for the second game, and he mows them, he cooks them, you already won the series.
Yeah.
Depending how everything falls, Wheeler could be on regular rest. He could be a day short, whatever.
Yeah.
Sanchez can get the ball in the first game of any series, in my opinion.
I would have confidence.
I know it may be a ridiculous question to ask, but like the fact that I can even ask that question when the other guy is Zach freaking Wheeler, that's an unbelievably good problem to have.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But Sanchez has legitimately been that good. He's a top 5 National League pitcher. He really is. And top 10 across the league.
Yeah.
Because you got guys like Scooble in them in the AL, but
yeah,
dude, the NL is just, dude, it's right. He's right. He's there with the best of them. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
really
agree.
Is.
I agree, and I can see that whole like hypothetical situation. You know, what game 2 or game 1, whatever. If he starts the first game, and I think it just has to do with all like matchups wise, and like if Wheeler feels comfortable, letting him into that role type of thing. I wouldn't say but feeling comfortable switching it up or whatever.
Yes,
but I listen.
I think it's something you have to do with Wheeler's permission.
Yeah, I don't. Personally, though, I don't think it would happen. But then again, I'm not going to rule anything out because you never know with Topper and his decisions, and seeing what he can come up with. I don't know. But it's definitely something that, like, you think about and you're just like, I mean, it could work either way. And like you said, it's a great problem to have, I guess. So, but yeah, he's just great. And like I said, it's just the growth of him it's been awesome to, witness and see over the years. So it's definitely an awesome game. And I just like the energy in the building was pretty good. It seemed pretty good.
It felt like October, right?
Yeah, and it smelled like October in the air. I'm not gonna lie, hey, dude. It
gets a little bit of coolness.
Dude, a little coolness.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I smell the air, and I'm like, "Don't do it! Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started." No, I'm playing, but yeah, Tuesday's game was great. It was awesome to see. Schwarber hit another homer. What else is new? That just gets better and better each time. So again, blank check. Price is just rolling up, Dave. Price is going up, Dave.
Did you see a fan brought a blank check?
I did see that, which
awesome.
is it's great. It's great. All right, and then we'll talk about last night's game, which it was entertaining, but not for us. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the game from the Phils. I mean, you get the back-to-back homers from Schwarber and Harper, which, by the way, all those that were questioning if Harper had the power anymore, he does. So we can be done with that. I'm glad that whole thing's over with.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, exactly. So they jumped out to a 5-0 lead, which was great. Stott had a homer too. They were saying dad strength. I know him and his wife just had their child.
Changed his walk-up song.
Yeah. So, and then Luzardo, I mean, started out great and then had that, I think it was, what inning was it that he gave up the grand slam? It was...
Fifth? Fourth?
Yeah, fifth inning.
Fifth?
Yep, top of the fifth. And gave up the grand slam to give the Red Sox the lead. rough inning. I mean, and it was not all. It was not
tipping.
It was not all on him too, though. I mean, JT, not sure what happened there with the foul pop up.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there. Yeah. The ball's over there. He's looking the other way. So, but yeah, I don't, dude. The whole tipping thing,
dude, it's real.
I just don't know how many more times are we gonna keep saying that he's tipping?
It needs to be. I'm not saying it doesn't.
No, I know, but just like, how about he's just struggling. How would we just say that he's just not?
He's only struggling from the stretch. He's only struggling from the stretch. So I don't see the Not that I don't see the issue. Let me backtrack.
No, you got it.
But he's got to fix that.
Yeah.
But it's tipping. It's not.
Yeah.
Cora called it while looking at Luzardo last night, and then on that pitch proceeded to hit to get up the grand slam.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's just a little hasty for everybody to think that he stinks. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying he stinks. I'm just saying
there's a lot of people going around saying that.
I think he's just been inconsistent. I feel like it just seems like you said, out of the stretch has been terrible. And I just think and I heard somebody say it before, but the possibility of looking back at that Milwaukee game where that was his first game where it was whoa, they're hitting everything off him. That kind of shook him up a little bit. I know he's had games after that, here and there that have been good. But at the same time, it's just there's also been games where it's just everything he throws over the plate is hittable, and that's the problem. It's just anything over the plate right now. It's getting blown cover off the ball. So but yeah, that was a rough inning. Phils did end up tying it from a JT home run off Roldis Chapman. By the way, that was pretty crazy in my opinion.
I know Roldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Move on.
And then we went to extra innings again, and then what's his name? Who was in pitching that gave up the home run in the 11th? I forget who was pitching, but they gave up the home run in the 11th, and then had a chance in the 11th to have a runner on, possibly tie or take the lead. Didn't work out. Yeah. One thing I question, not sure why Weston Wilson is in pinch running.
That pissed me off.
No. Trust me, if I miss something where it's good for him to be in there, tell me, because I don't know. So
he tried to be on the team. He tried to steal.
He tried to steal, and he was out with 30 steps. It was just dude, you're not I just whatever. I was just
Seth
okay.
Johnson, by the way.
Seth Johnson, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, Seth Johnson has seen some good stuff from him, but just going to the fastball too much last night really hurt him.
He's AAA guy. He's AAA guy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Tough situation for him to be in. But overall, rough game last night. It was one of those ones where I thought it was going to be a stress-free night, and no. So,
surprise.
Like I said before, they like to flip it on me, So it's awesome.
Yeah.
But overall, we got the 2 out of 3.
Yes.
So the predictions were right. So, but winnable games like that need to start being finished correctly. So
yes, I agree.
Let's see. So
I agree.
But so moving off of that, moving on. Real quick, I know we're about to wrap up here soon. And get to our guest. Trade deadline happening. What, next Thursday is the 31st is trade deadline, and I mean it's getting closer by the day, and no moves for the Phillies yet. There was a move tonight that was made.
I think that's the domino that starts everything else.
Yeah, which was Seattle acquired Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks. So how are you feeling right now as we get closer to the trade deadline, personally, overall, with the Phils?
That's, of course.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what the Blue Jays are going to do. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man. I was thinking about it today, and there's a lot of rumors flying around who we're looking at, who we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I heard O'Neal Cruz. Now, I'm not fully in, but I wouldn't hate it, depending on what you give up. I'm not quite sure what they're going to go after.
Yes.
That's my thing. I don't know. It's going to be either bullpen or outfield bat. Right-handed, ideally. But, it's going to be one of the two, but I don't know which one.
Yeah.
it's like it's killing me. I don't know what they're gonna do.
No,
but,
yeah.
Like we don't have much. Like what? When's the trade deadline?
31st, next Thursday.
31st. Okay, a week from today. I don't know what's gonna happen this week.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the tough part is like I don't know if you saw it. Dave Dombrowski talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, conversations we had with teams a week ago, all of a sudden they had a good 2 series, and all of a sudden the prices went up.
Yeah.
Or conversations we had a week ago, all of a sudden their team hit a 3-game, 4-game skid, and prices, everybody got a little, they wanted to rock the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I if you want me to give out a name, Mason Miller.
Okay.
I've been reading some articles, and it's articles from the A's media and stuff like that. It's articles from here, articles from neutral people. Doesn't seem like the door is closed. It really doesn't, because it seems like they might trade for an arm.
More.
And if they trade for an arm, then that means they don't need Mason Miller. And knowing the A's, they'll get rid of him because they're idiots.
Yeah.
Now, we hit him around pretty well, so I don't know what other teams can do to him. But bring me Mason Miller.
I wouldn't hate it. I think there could be some fixing there. So, I mean, I kind of somewhat feel the same way. To be honest with you, if somebody was asking, like, what's your main feeling? Like, happy, sad, where, like, to be honest with you, I'd tell them, I'm like, I'm actually, like, I'm nervous right now.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
It's nerves, yes.
Like,
100%.
I think, and the reason, real quick, like, the reason why is just because I think, like, as much as, like, we talk about it all the time, and, like, people have talked about it before, it's like this deadline, like, in this very season, is going to determine what happens down the line here. And it like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get the one guy that they get, like, let's say whoever it is, I'm not going to say a random name, but, like, if they, they bring him in, and then they do help them, like, go on a run here and, win the World Series or something like that. Like, okay, great. Or if Dave does his usual things where he kind of settles a little bit and it doesn't go too crazy and gets one guy and it doesn't work out, and then people are bashing Dave again, and, his job's on the line, and then we go in the offseason questioning other things in the team. And it's just like, I think, like, this deadline is really going to show us, like, what direction this team wants to go in. Like, are they just going to ride out with the core that they have and save the prospects, which I do think I have a feeling they won't try to trade any of the top prospects. You know what I'm saying? Those names like Crawford, Miller, I do think they end up keeping them.
Sometimes guys are too good to pass up.
No, I know. Yeah, and that's the thing.
This is the most important deadline in the last 7 years.
Yes. And,
like, I'm talking, if you have the last 3 and then the 4 after this, this is the one.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I honestly, I've seen names like Stephen Kwan, like, he had 2 home runs today. Great defensively, and I mean, he's another left-handed bat, so, like, also don't kind of love that, but it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't hate it if we got Stephen Kwan, of all people. But really, I'd like that right-handed bat. But then again, there's really not too much out there, I feel like, outside of, like, Eugenio Suarez. So, and I don't even know if, like, if we would take a swing at a guy like him. So who knows? Might take a lot. So, but again, I think the one thing I see is happening is, like, Dave's going to choose one or the other to really go crazy. Like, if he wants, the bullpen to be a main focus and go out to get a really good arm, okay, he gets that bullpen piece, and then kind of settles a little bit on the bat. Yeah. Or if he goes after the bat and then he settles a little bit on the bullpen, where he kind of just gets
settle on this bullpen.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, it's that type of decision. So I feel like it's going to lean more to the bullpen and then see what happens with the bat. So, I don't know. I just, it's going to be really interesting leading up these next couple of days. And I really don't know who they're going to get. Like, I mean, we've heard names, the Kwans, the Luis Robert, like, we're back to that now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that type of stuff. Like, who knows what Dave's got up his sleeve. So I hope whatever it is works out. And I just hope that it doesn't cause me immense pain or stress. So just because I'm literally, like, I texted you the other day, like, I am nervous right now. Like, I'm reading all these things, obviously all these, like, insiders and this and that. And I'm just like,
This is our last episode. This could be our last episode before the trade deadline.
Yeah. So I just like it's.
Please, Dave.
I know. I just
do what you're supposed to do.
Just make the right decision.
Yes.
Just make the right decision, and I guess don't overpay. I guess I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I really want him to overpay. I really like Crawford, man, and it's going to be interesting to see if he survives the deadline. I think if he survives the deadline, he gets called up.
They've been thinking about calling him up for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna have to wait till after the deadline. Like they're not gonna call him up tomorrow and be like, "Oh my God, he's on the way to the Bronx." Like, no, dude. Like you're gonna have to wait a little bit. So, but it remains to be seen. So it's gonna be an interesting deadline. And like you said, the first domino fell tonight. I feel like so it might be a little entertaining on a Good Friday tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. Do you want to kick it to our guest?
Yeah, let's kick it to our guest.
All right, we now bring on another special guest, the second half of the 3-0 Take podcast. Obviously, Yankees fan. Just so happened it was Red Sox, Yankees back-to-back. Nate Reyes, how you doing?
I'm doing well, fellas. How are we doing today?
Good.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for taking your time out to be on the pod with us. We had Kyle on, your co-host, last week, so he texted me and he said, "Well, do you want Nate on?" And I had talked to Pete already, and I said, "We got to get Nate on too. We can't have one and not the other."
No, I'm with it, man. I appreciate it. It's I don't like KC getting more spotlight time than me, so
okay, you're on video, but
true.
We might not. Who knows?
Guy didn't even put the camera on for you guys, so I've already got the leg up.
What are you thinking, like deadline wise? I know there were just some moves today. Like, what do you think around the league? Like, what's your feel on Eugenio Suarez? I know he is getting shopped around to the Yankees, apparently. Is what I heard. But I feel like he'll go to you guys versus some other random team. Like he's not going to like Chicago or something like that. But what are your thoughts on the deadline so far?
Well, here's what I will say. You and your listeners are gonna get a very I'd like to consider myself a realistic Yankee fan. So I'm not gonna fluff stuff up. Honestly, this team in this Boone era pisses me off more than anything. So, and we're coming off of a very rock bottom, embarrassing series against the Blue Jays. So, you're getting me at a good time. Yeah. As far as deadline goes, when I look at the Yankees, they need some pretty glaring plugs for some holes in the bucket. Third base being an obvious one. Just with the fact that there was this song and dance that we had with DJ LeMahieu for the first half of the season. Let's put him at second, give him what they called a runway to basically get himself DFA'd, which he ended up doing. Yeah. Which forced Jazz over to third and kind of had two guys that were out of position. Now that Jazz is back to second, third base has become a glaring hole. They've given Oswald Peraza plenty of time to kind of just figure it out. Hey, you're a young prospect. You're supposed to do, something here. And he's been one of the worst qualifying hitters in all of baseball. Yeah. So third base being, I would say, the main priority. I know Gino Suarez has been like kind of leading the rumor mill. But I honestly don't know if it's the best fit. I think when you look at the Yankees, I don't see offense as an issue. They lead the league in most of the offensive stat categories, and they don't really struggle putting up runs. So I think one of the biggest holes that I'm seeing right now is just defensive and athleticism. So with that, anybody is going to be an upgrade offensively from Oswald Peraza. So I don't know if Gino makes sense, just because defensively he's not that much better. He is just a rental. And I think with where Cashman is at, he likes to make moves with guys that have control. So my mind is kind of shifted towards some other names that maybe are like a buy low and maybe package with an arm. So I go to the Pirates. I look at Ke'Bryan Hayes. I look at David Bednar, who I know is kind of rumored to potentially be on the the Phillies market as well. But I I kind of in my gut feel like the Ryan McMahon and grab a reliever, Jake Bird, or the Nurgit, whatever his name is, kind of the goofy righty out of the bullpen, that I think kind of checks that box, right? Like you get a little bit of some pop, you get a guy that is being salvaged from a miserable situation in Colorado who plays elite defense.
Yeah.
And that lefty swing in Yankee Stadium. So like that's kind of where my mind goes. For the love of God, I hope we avoid Yohan Moncada. I
in the
can't
big
believe
2025,
that.
it's like, geez.
I cannot believe this is still being a conversation. I cannot believe it. Plus, I don't have faith in the Angels making the right moves at the deadline anyway. So that's kind of where my mind's at. Outside of that, obviously starting pitching needs to be addressed. With Clark Schmidt going down yet again with TJ. Luis Gil has made some rehab starts. I think they're trying to build him up, but I would kind of like to see him float to the bullpen just because the bullpen needs help anyway. So deadline-wise, we're looking at probably too much to plug every hole.
Yeah.
But it's third base, it's starting pitching, and it's bullpen, kind of like majority of the contenders out there.
Right. It's funny that you mentioned Gino Suarez as, like obviously everybody's looking at him. Oh, he's mashing right now. It's unbelievable. He's got second or third highest in the National League right now. But nobody ever really talks about his defense. So it's interesting that you're coming from the perspective of you guys needing defensive help more than offensive, because it seems like all these sexy numbers or whatever that he's putting up, it's like that doesn't really matter if you can't field. If you're a terrible defender, then it is what it is. Like you're a black hole. We saw it with Trey Turner when we first got him. There were a lot of Phillies fans that were saying, and myself included, I didn't watch a ton of Dodger games, or while he was on the Nationals or whatever, I didn't care about him. He wasn't really on my radar, but he got here and he starts making errors, and they're looking around going, we just signed this guy to an 11-year contract, and he can't field a ground ball. It's 50-50 every time the ball comes towards him. So it's interesting that you come at it from that perspective. I think you're right. I think it's a lot of for every contender. It's bullpen. It's a little bit of defense. And all these contenders, at the end of the day, they're going to score runs. So I think that looking at it from a defensive perspective is definitely, I think, a better way to look at it, or a more logical way to look at things.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, man. You look at the Yanks on the biggest stage last year in the World Series get embarrassed. For a lack of a better word, it was embarrassing. And
those I can't lie. I was listening just to hear your reaction.
Man. That was tough.
I didn't want the Dodgers to win, but I was like, it's good content when the Yankees lose, because I want to hear what Nate has to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't
for sure.
Wishing bad, but
it's I 100% respect it. I've been in this camp since I was a little tyke, man. Like, this is just the way it is. The Yankees are loved and they're hated. And so it's all good. But yeah, man, I mean, just being embarrassed on the biggest stage last year, it felt like the offseason was focused on correcting a lot of that, with Belly coming in, with Goldie coming in. And obviously this recent transition of Jazz getting to a more natural position at second. Judge getting back into right, where he's clearly, able to hold it up a little bit better than in center. Trent Grisham getting more time. So like there is this like motivation, I think, to correct a lot of last year's mistakes. But I mean, I don't know. We're coming off of a game where we made 4 errors and probably gave up 500-600 unearned runs last night. So it's one of those things where I think it's probably more organizational and not something that can be solved at one deadline. This is something that is a development issue. We can go back years and look at names that have grown up through the system that just can't seem to figure it out on a fundamental side. So I'm at a loss for words where we're at currently. I'm just kind of hoping that they don't do the sexy thing and get, double down on an offensive stick that we don't really need. That's not the
You have
issue
Aaron
at the
Judge,
moment.
for God's sake. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of other names have kind of started to pan out and turn it on. It's just defensively, specifically the left side. When you look at the third base hole, Volpe has been miserable defensively this year. And Jason Dominguez, again, just I don't think he was taught how to play left field at all. Yeah. And it's very visible right now. So I'm curious to see what they do, but I really hope that is the focus. It's fundamentals and it's defense. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point when you bring up like the whole like going after somebody that is like a really good fit and is like the most reasonable and like one that matches what you really need. Because I think even with like looking at what the Phillies are doing going into this deadline is like, listen, like they need a power right-handed bat. We don't, need like a guy like a Jarren Duran as much as he's a great player. Like we don't need another left-handed bat in the lineup. Like we really don't realistically. So it's like I'm also looking at that same way when it comes to the Phils too, where it's like I don't want them to really like go too crazy on somebody that they really don't need, and then we end up giving away a top prospect like Aiden Miller or Justin Crawford, like that type of thing. So I kind of agree with your point there, just knowing like what the correct fit is and not going overboard and saying, hey, we might, go for a low risk that might possibly work out. Because, I mean, you look back in like the last couple of years, like, I mean, going back to like, for example, 2021, when the Braves won the World Series, I mean, they really didn't go too crazy at that deadline, apparently. I mean, they went for guys like Jock Peterson and then, what was the one guy? I forget the one guy's name, but I mean, players that weren't really crazy names, but they went.
I think Eddie Rosario.
Eddie Rosario, yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
That's the guy I was trying to remember. And it's like those type of players or somebody where it's like not a huge name, but they contribute a lot to that team to help them go on that run.
Yeah, dude. And I think I heard this really good point from JP Morosi. I was listening to something he was on. He did an interview recently, and he talks about like at least on the prospect side of things, like the deadline will really tell you how your team thinks of those prospects.
Yep.
Right. And so like we hear these names that we start falling back on, and whether they're, a top 10 or top 5 prospect in our respective organization, like we're really in our mind as a fan, we're like, I love the idea of this guy coming up and making an impact.
Yep.
And then at the same time, you're like, there's a fine line between hoarding these prospects and not turning them into like, our window is open now, let's go get big league ready talent. It's this weird thing, man, because like we always go back in time and be like, James Shields for Fernando Tatis, like what were the Padres thinking? But like that's just kind of, or excuse me, the White Sox, Padres, whatever.
Right.
What are we thinking at that time? But it's just like, how often does that pan out? And how often are your favorite top 5 names that we start to hear for the last few years pan out to be that way versus someone that can come in right now and help you win? And then at the same time, you're like, I hope my GM looks at our team and says, I think we got a pretty good core. Mm-hmm. Let's not rock the boat too much. And we don't need to chase the sexy one. We can go get something that really fits the need. And I think the Yankees and the Phillies are in a very similar spot where I think let's just not overdo it, man. Yep. Let's not overdo it.
And I think the Phillies are in an odd spot, and I don't know if it's because of Dombrowski, but it's like we've almost not rocked the boat at all. Like you lose to the D-backs, and you're like, that's baseball. Like things do happen. That was the first thing we ever talked about on this pod. That was our first episode. Our test out episode was us talking about choking in the NLCS. But like when they ran it back, I was like, this is the group you run it back with. This is okay. Like it was one game. We were a game away from the World Series. The year before, we were 2 wins away from winning the whole thing. So like, this is okay. But then going into this year, it's like we lost to the Mets in the first round. And by all means, like by all measures, whatever you want to say, the Mets were better than us the entire season. Mm-hmm. Ever since I got back from London, when it was 1-1 or whatever at the London series, they went 1-1. But like the Mets just turned it up, and the Phillies just tried to coast, and it didn't work. But it's interesting that you bring up these names that we always hear. There's a guy, Andrew Painter. I don't know if you know much about him, but he's the top.
I don't.
He's one of the top Phillies. He is the top Phillies prospect. He's like a top. What Pete? What is he ranked?
I think he's ranked number 1. I'm pretty sure he's ranked number 1.
He's ranked number 1 in the Philly system. I don't know what he is in like the whole MLB, but he's coming on. He had Tommy John like a year and a half ago now, and for 4 years it's been, well, this guy's about to come up. He's about to come up, and the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been in the camp of, we got to shop this guy if we're not going to bring him up. Why are we keeping him here? Like, and he's been getting hit around in AAA, but like, to your point, how often do these guys pan out in the major?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And what are you going to do? Stick him in the bullpen? Or are you going to bring him up for October? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just tough. We have, Justin Crawford, who's lighting it up in AAA right now. Aiden Miller, who's lighting it up in AA. We have Dante Nori, like all these top guys in our system, but what are we doing with them?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, No,
100%, man. And it's almost like you can go back to like your last deadline and it should tell you what they think of these guys.
Yeah.
And if they are not moved, then they better be on a big league roster playing for us the next year minimum, right?
Exactly.
Like, I understand not maybe getting a September call up or getting postseason innings or ABs, but like, if you're breaking camp and you're with the club at the beginning, opening day next year, then I understand why we held on to you. But otherwise, it's like, now you're kind of hoarding. Right. And then you see these guys where the confidence gets dropped and then performance drops and then their value drops.
Yeah.
And then they're brought up and it's like, it's a fine recipe that I don't think everybody gets right. I will say from an outside perspective, I've always liked that Dave Dombrowski, compared to most GMs, is willing to push the chips in the middle of the table and say, now is when we go. And especially when you look at your core, it's like, this is the window. This has been the window. And if even then, this window's starting to come to a close with a lot of these guys getting older,
aging
right?
quick. They're aging quick.
So like, I mean, I have no animosity, by the way, towards the Phillies. I know you guys probably have, a little bit of bitter taste from 09, but
A-Rod's hit wasn't a home run, but
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Well, you'll never find me defending A-Rod, that's for sure.
That's one thing I have noticed. You don't defend A-Rod ever.
No, that guy's a scumbag. That guy's the worst, the absolute worst.
So moving into the upcoming series a little bit. I'm sure Pete has, something written down as far as the pitching matchups and all that. And I know you sent me a tweet of them earlier, but what do you kind of expect to see out of this series? Like, what are you looking for the Yankees to show, I should say?
Brother, I told you I'm at an all-time low right now. I probably should have looked up who's pitching. I think you guys dodged Fried, which is nice, even though Fried hasn't necessarily been him for the last 5 starts or so.
I was going to say that's why I'm hearing pitching going there, because Fried hasn't been all that.
They really hasn't. He had a little bit of a weird thing going into the break with a blister. Was day-to-day. They skipped a start, and then he got some extra rest with the break.
There we go. I got you with the pitching matchups. So Friday is Taijuan Walker against Will Warren. Saturday, Ranger against Stroman, and then Sunday is Wheeler against Rodon.
Sunday's game's gonna be good. That's a
good
pitching matchup right there.
Yeah, that's gonna be really good.
I'm gonna be there. I forgot.
That's right. Yeah, you
are.
Oh,
there we go.
I'm gonna be there. Yeah, we're taking a train up.
There you go.
I like Yankee Stadium. They got good food. I feel like they try to be normal or like old Yankee Stadium a little too much.
Yeah.
At least it seems that way. I never went to old Yankee Stadium, but
I never made it up there. I never made it up there either. I mean, I like, unfortunately, it's kind of one of the big regrets, but I do like the new stadium.
Parade in 08, so because my mom told me, get ready for this. My mom told me they'll do it again next year. Don't worry, and then they almost did. I was also in 4th grade, so
I mean, that's what I'm saying is that like there's only so much opportunity you have when you're a kid. But new Yankee Stadium's sick. I've been to, I don't know, probably 15, 20 games at this point, regular season, postseason. It's going to be electric. Where are you sitting, by the way? Just for your safety, I'm
full
curious.
disclosure, I don't know. We're not sitting in the bleachers with those.
There you go.
Whatever.
Yeah, so watch out for the bleacher creatures, man.
Going on out
there. The creatures don't take it easy on you. They pregame those games. They hammer the bar during games. They're hitting stands or billies right after. So stands. By the way, if you're brave enough to wander in there after the game, you'll be better off after a Yankees win. But stands is right across the street. One of the coolest bars ever. It's like this long, skinny bar. It's always crowded in there. They got the Jeter respect commercial that's playing on loop on TVs. It's sick. Not to get too Yankee here.
No,
sorry.
You're good. You're
fine. That's
fine. Back to the matchup. So Friday, Will Warren, very up and down. I think you're going to see like solid stuff. Really just kind of comes down to, how well he stays in the zone. We've seen crazy good starts, and then we've kind of seen some clunkers. So I don't really know what you're going to get. You said Stroman Saturday, right?
Yeah,
I think
Stroman Ranger on Saturday.
Oddly enough, Stroman's looked decent, and I'm sure now that I'm saying this, he's going to get absolutely lit.
Don't worry, we've been striking out like crazy recently.
That's another guy. He's not going to blow it by you, but that's another guy that you'll never find me defending, by the way. And Rodon, I'm pleasantly surprised this year. Feels like he's kind of just come into his own. Although he gets very caught up in the moment, and you can see him kind of get too hyped up. We saw that in the postseason last year after a couple innings, and then kind of floundered right after. He seems more even keel this year. But it's freaking Wheeler. Like I don't have much faith in that game either. So it's really hard to say. But you'll get a very, very solid postseason vibe from Yankee Stadium, and we're angry right now. So the fan base is not happy.
You think we'll be booing the Yankees or no?
Yeah, I mean, Volpe will get booed if he boots another ball short. I promise you.
He's struggling, man. He's struggling.
Yeah.
Somebody
rough.
was like, they might as well DFA him, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's
close.
It's insane, bro.
I just down rather. I meant.
They don't give him days off, and it's just I don't understand. I can't get into it. But matchup wise,
you were going to get spicy today when I texted you last night.
Yeah, it's true.
I was like,
it's true.
Man.
It's a good point. Maybe I need to get into it. I need to air it out a little bit. But as far as like the matchup goes, I think the Yankees do hang pretty well with teams that try to out Yankee them. Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, I kind of feel that the Phillies are fairly similar, where it's like you're not going to out homer us. You may get us a little bit on some lackluster defense. You may be able to take an extra 90 every once in a while. Mm-hmm. But your pitching is just so much better than ours. I think the Phillies are just light years ahead of where the Yankees are currently. Yeah. And we're at, I would say, as close as rock bottom as we can get.
Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like I was talking about it the other day, where I feel like almost sometimes we don't match up well with the Yankees anytime we play them. I mean, I went to go back to last year's series when they came to Philly, and they just completely ran us out that whole series. They swept us at home, and that was a rough one there. I was like, I don't know. I feel like Judge is always having good games, but
that was Jazz's first series with or second series with the team.
Yeah. He came in hot. He
did. I think it's
sidestep, and I was the Euro.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here, man. I can't do this.
But I definitely think, like you said, it's gonna be postseason vibes. I feel like it's just kind of like whenever Phillies Yankees match up, it's always like it's a great series. And I think the one interesting for us or point or thing that we want to see is like Ranger on Saturday, if he's gonna come back out of that funk because of the last game that he had, which he really struggled a lot. So it's interesting to see how he's gonna pitch in Yankee Stadium, just because with the short right field porch and stuff like that, and keeping the ball in the ballpark. So it's definitely something going to be interesting to see during this series, and I definitely think it's going to be high energy, and I think the place is definitely going to be rocking. throughout the whole
man.
weekend.
It's gonna be just because again, like we're angry, and I think at the same time we're also like kind of anxious to see what happens for the deadline, because we're super irrational. I'm sure you're aware that it's the second a move is second the move happens, or the second we win a series in a convincing way, it's like we're back, baby. So yeah, very up and down, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's strange. If you go back and look at anything in the Blue Jays series, not just this series, but pretty much the whole season so far against them, you can beat the Yankees if you put the ball in play. If you avoid striking out, if you try to get through the starter as quick as possible and get into that bullpen early in the series, you're going to see them fizzle towards the end of the series. And I mean, we're coming in limping. The bullpen is just in shambles.
So is ours.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, not too far behind.
We could see fireworks at the end of these games, bro.
Battle of the bullpens.
You don't know, yeah. But like, sheesh, man. I'm so low in confidence. Luke Weaver has kind of just not quite been himself for the last few weeks. They've moved him obviously into like more of a fireman role, so where it's like, if we need you for 6-7 or 7-8, like that's kind of how we're gonna bring you in. And I think Devin Williams might be one of the softest relief pitchers I've ever seen on a field. It's insane. Man. If you watch a knock against him, you can see this body language. You can see shoulders drop, and it's like this, here we go again. Even though he's been better, you still feel like there's like such lack of confidence. So if you're a Phillies fan and if you see your team down this weekend, like hang tight, because you never know. It takes a couple ground balls to the left side and a couple runners to get on, and it's a ball game again. So yeah, man, we'll see. But I mean, overall, I think I genuinely feel like the Phillies are one of the best teams in the NL. I think the AL is such a toss-up that
it really is.
Outside of the Tigers, like I really don't have much confidence in too many other teams.
Yeah.
And so the Yankees could have a really good deadline and could get hot and maybe make a little bit of a run, but it's hard to say, man. I don't know. And this, I like the way you look at this series of like it's a true test, but we've sucked when it comes to true tests this year. When you look at series where you're like, all right, who are we getting? Who are we playing? Who are we matching up with? And there's like this hype with fan base and this like build up, and we just flounder in big moments. It's been rough to watch. So I don't know if you guys came in here wanting to talk trash, but like I just don't have the heart for it.
We kind of treat it, I think, as a measuring stick as well, kind of like see what we're made of, because we're not the best at Yankee Stadium whatsoever.
Sure.
Just record wise and stuff like that. I'm super excited to go up there. I know Pete's going to the game. You're going to the game Saturday?
Yeah, going Saturday. Okay. So I'll be in left field. So I'll be over there with my girlfriend and her parents. They're all Yankees fans. So I'll be
careful over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the only Phillies fan over there probably.
Yeah.
He's
the outfield is just dangerous.
He knows how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head down, chilling, bro.
Yeah. Have a beer or two, just calm yourself down.
Yeah.
But Nate, thank you so much for your time.
100%.
It was awesome having you on. It was awesome having Kyle on. We'll definitely have to collaborate again.